Good morning. Good morning, love. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good everything wherever you are. All right, Braid fam. You know I got to keep it real with you. The internet is flooded with easy ways to braid and extensions, but are they really easy? Like, even for someone who's never picked up a comb? Listen, I'm a little skeptical. Okay. We're watching these methods together, and I'll be telling you straight up if they're truly beginner friendly and if you can actually achieve those pro level looks without experience. So let's get right into it, y'all. Let's just dive right in. Okay, so the first video we're getting into is going to be by Miss Indy Bendy. Love her. And it's called Knotless Braid Tutorial for Visual Learners, beginner friendly, step by step. So let's get right into it. Let's see what she has to teach us today.
Hello babes, it's your girl Indy. Today's video is a knotless braid tutorial for my visual learners. Yes, I will be breaking down this technique step by step to help you achieve the perfect knotless braid. I will be using colored hair so you can clearly see how I'm adding the hair in and really slowing down my movement so you can get the hang of it. If you're watching this video right now and you're struggling to get your first knotless braid, watch this video all the way through and I guarantee you'll find it helpful. Let's get started. For my tools, I'm using IBH Essentials Precision Ruler Comb, and this is a great tool if you don't like eyeballing your parts and you want them to be very accurate. So first, you're going to want to make sure that your hair is separated. I'm using pink hair. I'm using this colored hair to make sure that you can clearly see how the hair is being added into the braid. So for my product, I'm using Shine.
So, first of all, real quick, the cheat code, right? To consistent parts and like perfect boxes each time is definitely the IBH comb for sure. Um, I live by that and it works every time. It gives me consistent parts each and every time, no matter who is in my chair. And I definitely recommend that for beginners because it is perfect. And if you just like she said, if you just don't feel like eyeballing the parts, it's perfect for you. And then you guys say hello to my beautiful daughter. She is here with me.
Hello.
Hi. So we will be doing these kind of together. So here we go.
Jam, and I'm just applying it to all four sides of my square. Now you're going to take your comb and you're going to part your square into 3 sections. I'm choosing to do a triangular pattern just to make it easier, but you can also do 3 even rectangles. But I find that the triangle kind of works a little bit better if you're a beginner. You can visually see how the braid is going to be set up. So you see I have 3 separate pieces. This is the best way to hold your hands for an underhand braid. Take your middle, ring, and pinky finger and use those 3 fingers to hold the hair firmly. Make sure your grip is firm and that you're braiding with confidence because, if you're unsure, you're not going to be gripping onto the hair how you need to be. So
Hold
your
on,
thumb
y'all.
and your index finger are going to...
Hold on. My son just woke up. Give me 1 second. My bad, y'all. I had to get my kids together. You might hear them in the background. They're going to be coming in and out, but that's okay. That's mom life for you. So let's just continue and watch these videos.
be doing most of the work. Taking your right hand, you're going to place your index finger directly on the scalp and go underneath that middle piece and use your thumb to grab it. Now, taking that middle piece, you're going to put it to the left side of the braid, and you're going to place your index finger right in between those two and fasten your work to the base of the scalp. Now you're going to take your thumb and grab the right side, and that is 1 rotation of a braid. And now braiding is basically just patterns, y'all. So you're going to do the same thing again. Use that index, grab the other side with your index and thumb, and do the same thing again with the other side. Place your index, grab it with your thumb, and you're going to repeat this until your left hand is holding that hair and your right hand is free. Because now we're going to add in the hair. Because you're...
Real quick. So if you guys are familiar with knotless braids, then you guys know that sometimes depending on how you do that division of 3 pieces, with the natural hair, you do get a gap at the top. Yes.
Come here.
Yeah, what?
Come here. Let me show you something.
Okay. Can you give me a second?
Yeah, quiet.
Okay.
Look at
I see it. Yeah. All right. Thank you. Um, like I was saying, sometimes you get that little, there's like a little space at the very top of the braid. So that's why doing the triangle downward makes a lot more sense, because instead of getting that gap at the top, you're now going to get that at the bottom where you can't even see it. So then that makes the braid box, the box where the braid is, a lot more seamless. So that definitely makes sense. I like that. I'm going to try that.
Your index and thumb are doing most of the work. You're going to put those two in between the loop of hair and grip the rest with those 3 fingers. Now you're going to place that hair right between where you're already pinching in the braid. And you're going to take the actual hair and place it right on top. Then you're going to take your index finger, fasten the hair into place, and continue to braid. And like I said, because braiding is all about patterns, you're going to do the same thing again as many times as you want. And by that, I mean the more pieces of hair that you add, the bigger the braid. The fewer pieces, the smaller the braid. I say the sweet spot is 6 to 7 pieces. But it all depends on what size braid you want. I get that question all of the time.
Okay, so real quick, the 6-7 piece, you will be sitting there all night. Listen. We have to figure out more efficient ways as braiders to get the looks that we want. The most I will do is 4 pieces, only because when you get around the edges sometimes, the hair is a lot thinner, right? And you don't want a super heavy braid or a lot of synthetic hair on small little fine pieces of hair, because it will weigh down eventually and that can cause traction alopecia. So we're staying away from that. So the reason why I do 4 pieces is because you need 2 really thin pieces as the base for the braid. And then you can go ahead and add 1 more or 2 more pieces to kind of even out the braid. The 6 to 7 pieces is crazy to me. I used to do 6 pieces and it just took forever. I mean, loading the rack, trying to figure out the amount of hair to use for 1 braid, it was just a lot of thinking. So the most efficient way that I do it is I only use 3 pieces. And for my boho, I only use 2 synthetic pieces. And then I do 1 human hair piece and split it at the end. So that to me has worked more efficiently, and it saves so much more time than trying to add all these different pieces of hair, because it's a lot of stop and go when you do it that way. But hey, I don't knock it. If that's the way that you do, that's the way that you do. And also let me know in the comments, what method do you use when it comes to adding the synthetic hair to the braids? Do you use 3 pieces, 4 pieces, 5, 6? Does it not matter? Like she said, is it dependent upon the thickness of the braid that you want? Like, what is it? Let me know in the comments, because I'm very curious to know what y'all are doing out here, because it's crazy. All right, here we go.
So just pick however many pieces you want to add and continue to add them. A tip that really helped me visualize how many pieces I need is just paying attention to how thick or thin your client or whoever's hair you're braiding is. If their hair is thinner, they might need more braiding hair pieces to make the braid the size that you're going for. If their hair is thicker, you can obviously use less. But it just depends on whatever size braid you're going for. But you have to be mindful and use your braider's IQ to kind of just figure out, okay, how many pieces do I need to add? Is the braid getting too big? Is it too skimpy? Do I need to add more? Also, I am braiding down using this technique of using my middle finger to smooth out the back. And I find that this just makes my braid very tight, very neat all the way down. You can use other methods, but I just find this one to be the best for me. So I'm just using my middle finger to smooth out the back. And now that you've got the gist, you want to braid all the way down till you have no more braiding hair left. Let's do it again. So we're going to start off by parting the section into 3 pieces in a triangle, like I said, or you can do 3 rectangular pieces. Something that's very important while braiding, which sets apart the neat braids from the ones that look like they're falling off the bone, is tension. You want to make sure that you're gripping everything taut. And by taut, I just mean very tightly, very grippy. Make sure you're gripping the hair. Don't be afraid. And earlier when I talked about braiding confidence, don't braid like you're afraid. Braid like you know what you're doing and let your fingers fly, okay? You might not think that you know how to braid, but I promise you with repetition, with practice, you will get it, okay? It's also important that your braid is in the middle of your box versus all the way toward the bottom or all the way toward the top. It looks the neatest when it is in that center position. So here I'm adding in the braiding hair. And again, I'm just using about 6 to 7 pieces and I'm getting into a flow, placing that braiding hair in between my index and thumb, using the actual hair to cover it, and then using my index finger to fasten it into place, and then continuing to braid. Now, remember, like I said, it's all about patterns. So just find what works for you and repeat the same thing over and over and over again, and you will get good at it. If you're watching this video right now, if you guys have any questions, leave them down below and I can try to give my most descriptive answer possible. I am open to all questions. If you're a kind of intermediate or advanced braider, I'm also tucking the natural hair behind the pink hair a little bit. Now, this is if you want to hide your natural hair color and you want that braiding hair color to pop through and cover it. So all I'm doing is placing the actual hair behind the braiding hair while I'm braiding down. Now, this is like an intermediate level skill, but with practice, you will be able to do it as well. Now we're braiding all the way down, just like we did on the other one, until we have no more braiding hair left. And by the way, I stopped adding pieces in at this point, and I'm just braiding down. If you found this tutorial helpful, give this video a thumbs up and do not.
Yeah, like absolutely. Listen, I love that video. That was an excellent video. You guys, let me know what you think. Are you an underhand, overhand braider? Let me know because both methods can be difficult. But again, like she said, braiding is about patterns and repetition. So the more that you do it, the more you'll get comfortable, the faster you'll get at it. And it'll just be, you'll be on airplane mode doing it. So let me know which one you guys use. Also, you guys, I want to announce that I am hosting my own Foundations for Knotless Braids Masterclass in October. It'll be October 25th and 26th. Okay, if you're in the California area, in Moreno Valley, the Inland Empire, that is where it will be. Please don't hesitate to go to my website so you can find out all the information there. And you can go ahead and book your seat. But you guys, spots are limited, okay? And the early bird gets the worm, okay? So there is early bird pricing, and it is $100 off. You can save $100 by booking the early bird pricing, okay? So get your seat right away. Registration is open, okay? And it will be a good time. We will go over everything that you need to know to get you ready for knotless braids, okay? So you don't have to have any experience braiding at all. This is perfect if you just want to learn a skill. This is perfect if you just want to touch up on the basics, if you want to perfect your parting systems. Those things are key for this Foundations for Knotless Braids class, okay? So make sure you guys check it out. I will leave the link in the description to my website, and all the information is there. Show me some love, guys. And also, if you have enjoyed this video so far, please make sure to subscribe and hit that notifications bell so you don't miss a video, and so that I can reach more people like yourself, so that we can have a good time as a family and we can discuss topics related to hair, and we can dive in and discuss and do it all together as one. Okay, so let's get right back into it. We're going to move on to our next video. Okay, so This video is called How to Braid and Weave for Visual Learners by Glam Fam Hair and Beauty. All right now. And pink seems to be the color today. I guess we're doing pink. So let's get right into it.
If you've been wanting to learn how to braid and weave or extension hair into the hair, then this is the video for you. So stay tuned. Hey Glam Fam, Linwood here, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to braid and weave or extensions into the hair. We're going to be using a bright color like this, so this video will also be suitable for visual learners. So if that's you, I'm thinking about you, boo. For this video, let me go ahead and tell you what we're going to be using, and then we'll just dive right in. Now for this tutorial, we're going to be using some pre-stretched braiding hair like this here, and I've got it in hot pink so you should be able to easily see it on camera. This is Nikon fiber. Nikon is my preference because usually it burns and it melts easily for you to be able to shape it into curls, things like that. And it's usually in a wide array of colors. It's really easy to work with. It tends to be pretty inexpensive. So in my opinion, I feel like Nikon is one of the best braiding fibers you can find. I have the pre-stretched hair here because I feel like it's best for people who are beginners. That way you're not going through stretching. But if you need to know how to do that, I've got tutorials that include that as well.
Okay, so quick opinion, guys. You guys know this uproar that's going on with them talking about braid hair is toxic. Like they're literally throwing all braid hair underneath the bus right now. But guys, there are alternatives, and I don't know if you guys paid attention, but the brand Easy Braid is toxic free, chemical free, chloride free, free of dyes, everything. And that is a toxic free braiding hair that I use for all of my clients. I've been using that. That's the only braid hair I swear by. I don't use anything else because of people's reaction to the braid hair that does have all the chemicals and stuff. I don't really hear any of my clients complain about itchy scalp, not being able to bear the hair and wear it without scratching their hair. Like, I don't hear any of that stuff. So I am open for this discussion, guys. What braid hair do you guys use? And do you think that Easy Braid hair is a good alternative to the braid hair brands that you guys have been using for forever? And let me know your thoughts on that, because honestly, I don't agree with, all the braid hair having chemicals and stuff in it, but I do feel like this is just a narrative and a way for them to, and but when I say them, I mean the people that control the media. It is a way for them to try to distract us from supporting each other's businesses. Okay, so that is my opinion, but I want to know what braid hair you guys use, so let me know.
As well. Okay, so we're going to begin on this bottom section of hair here, and you can see I already have a clear line kind of parted out there with my rat tail comb. So I'm just going to go ahead and take another small section like this. I'm showing you guys more of like a box braid type formation, which, by the way, if you are already a somewhat intermediate braider, like you already know how to add in hair and you're wanting to know how to box braid, I have a separate tutorial for that. This is really more so for beginners. From there, I want to make sure that hair is pretty well blown out or stretched and detangled. Working with hair that has already been blown out some, it's just a lot easier to manage. Okay, now when it comes down to the hair, we're going to take a small section of hair out, and you kind of develop a feel for this or a preference based on how you want your braids to look. So I'm just going to take out enough hair really to kind of show you on the tutorial. Whatever size you end up picking, just kind of roll it between your fingers. You want that to feel pretty consistent, and remember that your braid is always going to be basically double that, because it's going to be folded over and braided like this. So it's really going to be this thickness here, not the individual thickness that you have there. I hope that makes sense. So after we have our hair sectioned off like this here, we're going to take this hair, and let me just make sure it's got the right thing in there. We're going to take this hair and we're going to separate it. And I want to make sure that from what I'm separating, that I have about half in one hand and twice as much in it. So if I'm splitting this in thirds, basically I've got 2/3 in one hand and 1/3 in the other. Or I am essentially just taking half of the amount of what I've got here. So if this feels like about half, then you're good. You're good to go. So we're going to take the bigger piece and we're going to take our smaller piece and just wrap it around the big piece. So basically,
so in easier terms, number terms, 25-75. That would be the split. 25, 75, and fold it together, because that's what he's saying. He's saying like the smaller piece needs to be 1/3. So 25, 75.
What we did here, let me take that again. Big piece, our small piece is just going to wrap around it like that. Okay, so this is our small piece and this is our big piece. So the small piece is this one that's moving, big piece is on there. So you can see how when I pull them tight, they all look about the same. That's what we're looking for. From there, we're just going to pinch that knot right on in the middle. I'm going to go ahead and pinch between, let's see here. Let's pinch between my middle and my thumb. And then from there, the next strand, I'm just going to place between my index finger and thumb. The third strand, I'm just going to kind of let lay there. Okay. Let's go ahead and zoom in here on the mannequin so you can see what we're doing. Okay, so now that we have this section, what we're going to do is we're just going to take this hair and we're going to place it directly on top of this here. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to pull a bit of the hair out here, so like that top half, and we're going to place that right in with our middle strand all the way at the scalp, like so. Now our second strand, I'm going to come from the left under the middle. I'm going to go ahead and pick up that section of hair directly underneath it, just like that. Okay. My third strand, we're going to come here to the right and pick up there. So easiest way to do it here is just reach under from the left, grip both of those strands at the same time, and pull them back on over to the right. Then go back over here to the left, pull it to the middle, and then one more time, pull that to the middle. So notice the position of my fingers starting out is a bit more like a cornrow. We're keeping those hands more flat down to the scalp, and we're just gonna go ahead and lock this in. Now this will take a little bit of practice for you at first, but the more you do it, the easier it gets.
Yes, it will take practice, because I still to this day I struggle with box braids. Like I'm gonna try this method though, because I never split it into 3 pieces. I've always done the method where you do the 25, 75, and then you take just the one piece of human hair and you weave it in and then you split it later. Yeah, the box braid method, look, OGs, I give it to y'all because it is difficult for me. I don't know. And then you guys might feel like the knotless braids are difficult, but honestly, it's just like a cornrow, except you're not sticking it to the scalp. So to me, that's easier, honestly. But hey, there's this whole debate about box braids versus knotless braids, and I'm not in it. I'm not in it. I just do knotless braids for a living. That's it.
I'm gonna braid it down maybe about 1 inch or so before I flip my hands. So from there, I can go ahead and just stop. Whenever you're braiding too, make sure you're stopping and running your hands through, because see how it knots up on the ends here? We want to make sure that we're just kind of running our hands through there periodically, just to ensure. And I'm going to back you guys up a little bit, just so that way we're not taking away from anything. You want to draw your hands through there every now and then, just to ensure that those ends are not getting tangled up. So you guys can kind of see there, it's knotting up on the ends. Pull your fingers through and you're good to go. Just finger detangle. Now, I'm not using any product on this mannequin's hair, but if you need to, you can use a braiding gel. You can use a little bit of a styling product or a wax, a pomade, something like that to give you a bit more control. And that would be beneficial for you.
Okay, perfect. Oh, here.
That's not my water.
Here, you can have it. I'm sharing with you.
I want no water.
Okay, well, it's in the refrigerator. Here, take it. Okay, well, go bring me a water.
I want no one.
Go bring me a new one.
I can't. It's too high.
Go in the pantry.
Pantry?
Mm-hmm.
No, I want to go fridge.
The fridge?
Yeah, fridge.
Zay. Go. Don't touch. Stop. Stop, Papa. Stop. Go get you. Oh, look. You want that one? My water? My bad, y'all. I had to get my son together. But yes, listen, tell me what you guys think about that. One was a knotless braid tutorial. The other one was a box braid tutorial. Two different techniques, two different methods, but relatively the same in terms of the positioning of the hands and things like that. So let me know what you guys think about it. I personally enjoyed both of them. They seemed like they were great and excellent teachers and instructors, and they broke it down. If you guys think that you can accomplish braids just by looking at that video, then I think those videos are really good. I think they're very instructional and I think they're easy to follow. Me, I've been braiding for so long, so it's always refreshing to listen to other braiders explain certain things. And kind of pull from their ideas. So I really enjoyed those videos. But again, you guys, give this video a thumbs up, like, comment, and subscribe, okay? Make sure you guys don't miss a video, and I will see you guys next time, okay? Bye.